Ahead on Daytime Buffalo, midwinter recess is here, and that means the kiddos are home for the week. We'll show you where you can make sure their bodies and minds stay active during the break. And happy President's Day! We take you inside the life and home of the 13th president from right here in Western New York. It's all coming up right here on Daytime Buffalo. Afternoon, hello, and welcome to Daytime Buffalo. I'm your host, Chelsea Lavelle. On behalf of all of us here at Daytime Buffalo, we want to thank you for joining us on an exciting new adventure where we celebrate everything that makes Western New York such an amazing place to live, work, and just enjoy life. We aim to inform, entertain, and provide value to you, the viewer, through our local sponsorships and expert guest segments. Our goal is to empower you with the best tools and advice to tackle anything life may throw at you and have fun while doing it. Now, if you're wondering where you may have seen me before, some of you early birds may know me from my time on Wake Up. I did many fun stories reporting around Western New York. Some of you might recognize me as that girl yelling at cars going too fast while I was a traffic anchor. Hey, any lacrosse fans out there? Have you noticed a bandette dancing at the Bandits games at KeyBank Center who looks very much like me? Yeah, me neither. Oh, and there's a girl going around calling herself Miss Buffalo. Can you believe that girl? I mean, who does she think she is? In all seriousness, I am so proud to be here representing Buffalo as I go on to compete at Miss New York and sharing stories of people and places here that make the city of good neighbors so special. This New York City girl is proud to call Western New York her home. But enough about me. I'd like to introduce you to the Daytime Buffalo team and go behind the scenes to show you the crew behind it all.
The team they brought together for Daytime Buffalo could not be better, and I am so excited to be a part of it.
The thing about the Daytime Buffalo team is everyone has a specific niche in which they excel at.
And I believe there's a lot of speculation about what CW actually stands for. Can you let us in on any of that?
What does CW stand for? Clockwork. Charles Winston, Carl Walker, Christopher Robin.
What are we doing?
I'm the boss.
We'll fix it in post.
Oh, it's falling. It's falling. It's falling.
Bijan Française. Bijan Française. Potem. Potem.
Well, midwinter recess is here, and that means the kiddos are out of school for a week, but parents, don't worry. There are many activities going on right now to keep their minds sharp and bodies active. Joining me in the Daytime Buffalo studio today is Joanna Jacobs from Explore and More Museum. Joanna, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you guys have some special programs and camps going on that are really keeping those kids engaged. Tell me a little bit about them.
Sure. So for February Break Week, we are hosting a number of campers for various activities to keep their minds going. So we have yoga, we have smoothie classes. That camp is sold out, but we are doing a ton of activities for the general public as well, and those will be focused on engineering.
Amazing. the future engineers and STEM kids of our future. Now, how much time do these kids spend at the camp? Can you just drop them off and leave them? You know, just like drop them off, I'll see you whenever I feel like it.
Definitely. The camps typically run about 8 to 4. Things vary a little bit, but they are all day long. We understand the parents are working or have other things to do, and kids want to stay busy.
And what's the age group for the camp programs you have?
Typically, our camps are about ages 4 to age 12.
Okay, that's a nice wide range and variety and lots of groups. Now, do you accommodate various kids with different abilities?
We do. So we have a number of exhibits in the museum that are fully accessible, the newest being our indoor playground. So it is wheelchair accessible. We also have sensory aids for those that may need them whenever they come to the museum. And we have even special nights on the weekends, awesome evenings for those with autism and sensory processing needs.
Amazing. Now, you already said these winter camps are filled up, so congratulations to you guys. But parents, that just means that you guys have to really start thinking ahead. And you guys have more camps for spring and summer, I believe, right?
We do. So in April, we are hosting our World Travelers Cooking Camp. There are still spots open for that for the April break. And then in the summertime, from June to August, we have a number of day camps that are available. And the themes range from soccer to STEM to cooking.
Amazing stuff there. And how can parents find out more information about the camps and then also get their kids signed up?
Right on our website, exploreandmore, more.org. So exploreandmore.org, all of our information is right there. We do recommend signing up kids ASAP because the camps do sell out, as you can see.
Yeah, as you see, so good news there. The early, the better.
Yes.
Early bird gets the worm when it comes to signing up these kids for camps. Any other special events you guys have going on at the museum?
Yeah, we do encourage folks to come out this week for Break Week. The engineering is sponsored by National Grid. We have activities that really get kids thinking like they are an engineer. So get that creativity flowing, testing things, trying things again. So we encourage folks to join us not only this week, but keep up to date on our website calendar because we have so many different classes for different age groups and different programming all year round.
I love Explore and More because the kids have so much fun. I've done events there dressing up as a princess and doing cookie decorating and reading stories. And I think you guys are really special because you kind of trick the kids into learning. It's really cool things. You know, on those breaks, the kids have so much energy. They want to play, they want to have fun. And they have fun at your camps, but they don't even realize how much they're learning.
Absolutely. That's kind of our tagline is so much fun that you don't even know you're learning. It's really true. And the cool thing about the museum, too, is that it's fully place-based. So everything, the exhibits are all based around Western New York. So even when you're there playing on, you know, in our treehouse, for instance, you are learning about Western New York and the things that make it what it is.
Absolutely. That's what we're here for here at Daytime Buffalo. Thank you, Joanna, for coming on. And you're welcome anytime to talk about exploring more and the incredible stuff and programs you have at the museum. So thank you for coming on to our show today.
Thank you.
Parents, we all want to trick our kids into learning, right? When they're sitting idle and they just have so much energy. Now, if you're interested in visiting Explore and More or would like to find out about events and activities taking place, you can find everything you need over on their website. That's exploreandmore.org, or just give them a call. That number is right there on your screen. Now, coming up after the break, the city becomes a work of art. We'll show you the amazing transformation of a city through public mural art. And I'll show you how to decorate cookies like a boss, even if you're just starting out. Keep it here. Art is a specialty here in the Queen City, and what makes Buffalo so unique is that you don't have to visit a gallery or museum to enjoy it. Sometimes all you have to do is just look around. And that's what local businesses say has kept a constant flow of traffic and customers coming back to their neighborhood. Now, we caught up with one of the artists responsible for some of the most recognizable murals in Buffalo, who says this trend started over 2 decades ago and shows no sign of stopping anytime soon. Public mural art. It's a medium that allows artists, passersby, and mural seekers to have a shared experience. Murals have been delighting and engaging people in cities across the country, and Buffalo is moving to the forefront with this trend with the help of some local leaders.
So Joel Faraletto approached me in 2017 and mentioned that, he had just been to Wynwood, and that's sort of what sparked the work on Hurdle. He's just had a vision that Buffalo could participate in a small way. He saw this trend happening in Miami, and you can go spend an entire day looking at murals in the Wynwood district, and if Buffalo can do that in a smaller way, it's just one more thing for people to do when they're in town.
While more and more murals are coming to life in the 716, we are definitely not new to this form of public art. Artist Frank Cravata and others are responsible for some of the most iconic murals in Buffalo.
I've known Frank a while outside of the murals. I didn't know until he told me this summer that he was the original painter of the lion murals on Delaware by the row houses. 20 years ago he did it, but he just refreshed it. So, it's sort of after 20 years it was taking some wear and tear, and he decided to fix it up, and it looks good again.
Tell me a little bit, and you talked about some of the artists that you work with, Adam Ziglis and Philip Burke.
Yeah, so, in both cases you're dealing with, Adam's a Pulitzer Prize winner. Philip Burke has nationally recognized artists. They're from Buffalo, and to be able to work with them and these projects is like, it's an honor, really.
While many local artists like Chuck Tingley and Adrish Waheed have adorned the walls of Western New York using ladders and lifts, Rory says his process gives regular format artists a place in the spotlight.
This is a different process than they use. Theirs is a lot more difficult. They're talented muralists in Buffalo painting directly on the wall. So all of them have been very good to us in terms of, supporting each other's work and speaking highly of it.
And this was really special because DeMar actually came and visited, and I'm sure he was appreciative of the support.
Yeah, he's reached out on social media just thanking us for putting it up. It was obviously a heartbreaking moment at the time, and was a chance for us to sort of remember a time where our country kind of came together over a topic that happened in our, Buffalo Bills player. So.
Mural art has helped put Buffalo in the national spotlight with the help of our great art institutions like the Buffalo AKG Art Museum.
They've obviously led the way in terms of bringing artists from around the world to come and do murals and paint murals in Buffalo, and they've done a great job, participating in this process as well. So I think there's no unified approach to this, and there doesn't really need to be. As I said, I think the more the merrier, as long as they're done well.
It's only bringing more eyes to Buffalo, and which relates to better work for our artists here. Bringing more eyes to Buffalo is just what Rory and his team did with the famous Josh Allen Hurdling Hurdle Avenue.
What we call the most famous piece of plastic in Buffalo's history, maybe world history. We installed the Josh Allen jumping over the hurdle. It was just uncoordinated, we more or less decided it needed to be done. We're just having fun with it, trying to create things that people can go look at. And that was obviously popular because it was, timely, right, as well as, just odd, right? Like it's a chance to do something that you don't see every day. So.
And how did that sign do for businesses in that area?
Well, the businesses all thanked us. When you come in a neighborhood, you might spend money on other things or visit a shop or just create a buzz in general. So that's our objective, is to try to, do these kind of things that we're not necessarily being paid for, but certainly they benefit us and some other businesses.
So whether you were taking a stroll through your neighborhood or an insatiable search for the most Instagrammable spot, you are sure to find a mural that will delight, intrigue, and maybe even inspire you. Well, today is National Love Your Pet Day, and here at Daytime Buffalo, we love our four-legged friends like they were members of our own family because, well, they are. Now, this is the love of my life. Remy. I reached out to Kimberly LaRussa from Sweet Buffalo saying I was in need of companionship and unconditional love. However, this dog lover is highly allergic, so I had to do some research to find specific breeds that are good for allergies. I honestly had no faith that she would find the perfect dog for me, but alas, along came Remy. He's a Bichon Frise. He loves to play, especially with other dogs, and he's the bougiest dog you'll probably ever meet. Seriously, he's unfazed by almost everything, even peanut butter. I mean, come on now. You'll come to love and know him well on Daytime Buffalo because he will definitely continue to make appearances. But if you're looking to find your own fur baby, we might be able to help. I'm joined by Kate Daly, the president and CEO of Erie County SPCA. Who is this lovely little man you brought to us?
This is Poe.
Thank you for bringing him. He is so cute. He's been had great behavior today. A lovely guest host for me. How old is Poe?
Poe is 6.
6 years old. And does he have all of his shots and everything?
Oh, he does. Yeah, he's neutered, microchipped, all that.
He's good and ready to go. And how is he with kids and other animals?
You know, he doesn't love little people. They're a little chaotic for him.
Okay.
When you said bougie, he is bougie.
He's bougie. Okay,
Yes.
so he probably needs someone single or a younger couple that doesn't have any kids yet, maybe.
Right. So
Okay.
Poe is mine.
Okay.
So he's not up for adoption.
Poe is yours.
I brought him because he is so well behaved.
Yes.
And I thought we could talk a little bit about, you know, finding the perfect dog for you.
Absolutely.
And because we do. We have so many amazing dogs at the SPCA.
Yeah, you do. Please tell me a little bit if people are interested, because you guys are really special, because you don't just say, here's a dog, you're on your own, because that's something that's really scary for people when they want to adopt. They're like, wait, I don't know what I'm doing. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I'm learning everything, but you kind of have programs and resources to help, right? Tell me about that.
We do. So we have what we like to call a matchmaking program. So when you come into the SPCA to adopt, you're not just sort of picking any animal and taking them home. We
Right.
walk you through all of their specific needs, making sure that your lifestyle matches. And then we follow up with behavioral care if you need it, if you need support. Because sometimes you get them home, they seem perfect, and then all of a sudden they're barking or they're eating your couch or something. So.
I do know a thing or two about that with my lovely dog, Remy.
Yeah, so we're here for our adopters and the community in general every step of the way with any support that they could need.
Now, you guys actually do so much work, not just with helping people find their forever friends, but you do a lot of community outreach. Can you talk to me a little bit about what you guys have going on?
Absolutely. So because of the pandemic, it kind of slowed down our efforts, but we've ramped them all the way back up. So we are out in our community with free vaccine clinics. We are taking low-income clients through our Lipsy clinic to help keep families together, because one of the things we found is that one of the #1 reasons people turn in their pets is because they can't afford medical care. So we're trying to make that more accessible for more of Buffalo by going exactly where people need the help most, but also being accessible right within our own 4 walls.
And like we would expect, you guys are working really hard with animal cruelty prevention. Can you tell me some of the things that you guys are working on?
Oh, absolutely. So one thing we've seen lately is a high incidence of evictions. So animals have been abandoned at a much higher rate. And what we're trying to tell the public is please reach out to us ahead of time, because we have programs to keep families together. We have our SAFE program, which is a foster-based program. If for any reason you're unhoused or going through some sort of an event, we can house your animal for you either at our shelter or in foster to preserve those bonds and keep those families together.
And also, you guys go beyond just domestic animals. You guys have a wildlife rehab, is that correct?
We do, yes. We see thousands of animals, especially in the warmer season. So many baby bunnies and squirrels and opossums. And we also have a farm where we see horses and chickens and pigs. So every animal you can think of within our walls, we're helping them.
Absolutely, and you guys have really matched a lot of homes. If people want to find their forever homes, what do you suggest for them as far as the process that they're going to go through, and the mindset that they should be in if they're thinking about taking home a dog?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so anytime you're thinking about adopting a pet, just making sure that you really find the animal that's the right match for you. Because I know personally, I brought home animals to foster, and I quickly realized they were not going to fit in. So we have a really robust foster to adopt program. So you can actually, if the fur fits is what it's called, you can trial that animal for 2 weeks, and it's kind of like a nice little opportunity for both of you to see, you know, is this the right situation for both of us? So, you know, if you're certain you want to adopt, definitely, we're here for you. But you can also take part in that foster program just to make sure it's the right fit.
Absolutely. That's what I did with Remy. I took him home, and of course, we know how that went.
Yeah.
Fell in love quickly, but I really appreciate you guys helping match these people. Matchmaking is a key part to it, finding your perfect pet for you, finding their perfect home and environment for them. So thank you for all the work that you are doing and continuing to do. We would love to have you back on the show with any dogs that you want or cats for people to adopt.
Awesome. Thank you.
Now, still to come on Daytime Buffalo, we'll share some expert tips on how to create a beautiful bouquet of flowers and how to keep them looking great for days to come with a little help from the experts at the Botanical Gardens. Stick around, that's coming up. Well, Valentine's Day might be behind us, but that doesn't mean flowers have gone out of style. Spring is right around the corner, and with it comes a whole slew of new opportunities to make someone feel special with a hand-picked floral arrangement. Whether you're looking to make a beautiful Easter bouquet, a handmade Mother's Day gift, or even just picking the perfect bunch for your dinner table, the experts at Buffalo Botanical Gardens say no experience is necessary. All you need is a little bit of patience and a little determination and a whole lot of love. Take a look. Next time you're thinking about doing something nice for a loved one, like getting them some flowers, why not think about making it yourself? Or call an expert. Call me. We've got Andrea here from the Botanical Gardens in Buffalo. You're gonna show us how to make our own, and I'm really excited because you got some beautiful stuff, and they're all local flowers, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Where'd you get these?
The roses and the carnations are from Wegmans and the Baby's Breath, and then the eucalyptus and the ferns are from Woischner's, which is right down the street from us here.
Awesome. What do you think is your go-to for making a bouquet? Like, what flowers do you say, these are really good, they're gonna look pretty in kind of in any environment, and they're gonna last?
Yeah, I like the eucalyptus. It adds a good bit of flair.
These are healing too, right? Don't people put these in like the shower?
Yep, you can for aromatherapy.
Yeah.
And then I like carnations too because they're kind of bigger and they're a good pop of color. So.
Okay, so if anyone wants to, you know, do something special for someone, a loved one maybe, how would they start putting this together? Or yourself, okay? Make yourself some flowers. Self-love over here. That's what we're doing.
Sure. So the roses and the carnations are going to be our focal points.
Okay.
And then the rest of the stuff is going to be our filler.
Okay.
So what I like to do is take one of the biggest, prettiest focal flowers.
Okay.
And I'll let you pick one too.
Okay.
So that's kind of going to be the center of your bouquet. And then for each focal flower, I like to grab a bunch of filler, and you'll kind of want to surround it on 2 or 3 sides at least. And then I like to pinch in the middle there.
Okay.
Make sure that you're surrounded on all sides with filler. Then once you're ready, we'll grab another bigger flower.
The rose, you can't go wrong with the rose.
That's
How
right.
gorgeous. A classic.
And then I like to just keep adding and twisting around. So I'm probably going to add 2 more roses. So then as you start twisting, you're going to notice some of your filler might shift.
Okay.
There's really no rules to this either. Either way, it's going to look pretty.
It's art, guys. You just go with it.
That's right. And this is just the way that I was taught. So I'm going to put in more filler there.
Okay.
To even it out.
Beautiful.
Being careful not to crush the stems, obviously.
Oh, okay. That's a good tip because I'm definitely suffocating these.
And then if you want to add some eucalyptus to give it some height.
Okay.
Oh, see, you added a lot of Baby's Breath, and I like that.
Yeah,
So now I think I'm going to add more.
See, I like it fluffy. Things flowers, my dog, Remy, and Edam Stew.
Perfect.
We like all things fluffy. Now also guys, she does have these gloves if you're nervous about messing up your nails. You can always throw gloves on because it's a little spiky, but not too bad.
Yeah, and roses obviously have thorns, so you got to be careful for that.
Now I also want to know what your tips are for keeping these bouquets really healthy and fresh. What is the go-to? Because I'm really bad about keeping my flowers alive.
Right, so one important thing is the location of where you're gonna keep your bouquet. You don't ever wanna put it on a heater or near a heater or in direct sunlight. Another thing is as soon as your water starts to get cloudy, you wanna change it immediately.
Okay.
And that means also cleaning the vase out and basically starting fresh.
Okay, that's where I go wrong because I just get my bouquet, I put some water in it, and then I'm like, okay, good.
And another good tip is when you are cleaning your vase, changing your water, you also want to rinse off the stems because if you might notice they get a little slimy.
Yeah.
And then you can actually cut the stems back another inch.
Okay.
And you might need to change your vase size, but that'll help them stay fresh longer too.
Okay, good tips there.
And then other things, just you'll start to notice over time the petals die back.
Right. And do you want to pull those off, cut them off? Is there a preference?
Yeah, just any pieces that start to brown out, you want to clean them up a bit and that'll keep it looking fresher.
Okay.
First I like to adjust everything in the middle. Just make sure it's popping out enough.
To fluff and poof, just like the hair.
Yep.
This is pretty. I feel like I made like a bridesmaid bouquet flowers.
Yeah. No matter what you do, it's going to be pretty.
We're going to be walking down the aisle. Look at that.
So to cover up these weird ends here,
okay,
that's where I add in some ferns. And I usually do them all the way around because I like the way that ferns look.
Me too. It kind of is all encompassing. It's kind of wrapping the bow.
So once you're comfortable with what you have,
okay,
floofing, you can grab a rubber band, and then here's a little trick, like this.
Okay, so you pull both ends.
And then you're just gonna pull one through.
Pull one through. Making a little loop.
Yeah, and give it a good tug so it's nice and tight. And then once you're ready to to throw your flowers in a vase, you'll measure your vase. We will say our vase is gonna be about that tall.
Okay.
And another good tip is...
This is the scary part, I feel like.
Another good tip is when you're cutting your stems, you cut them on an angle.
Okay.
It creates more surface area for water uptake in the stems.
Oh, nice. I think you cut your hair on an angle too, so it's like cutting your hair.
And then the rubber band is just to help keep it tight while you're doing that.
Okay.
So you want to kind of, cut them all at the same
length.
Same length.
Okay.
So they sit nicely in your vase. And now it's going to be a little easier to slide your rubber band down.
Oh, I see. Very smart.
And then, of course, once you get it in your vase, you're going to want to snip the rubber band. And then you can situate the flowers how you want.
Then they'll be really puffy. Look at that.
Yep.
Look, the sun came out just for these flowers. Beautiful.
Pretty easy, pretty fun.
So easy tips, you can get flowers locally, you can go to the grocery store, pick up a few things. You don't have to have someone get you flowers. You can make them yourself, just like that. How easy, how therapeutic this was.
Yeah.
And also your tips were keep cutting this down, keep the water fresh, and keep them not near heat.
That's right. And there's also very easy recipes online for plant food.
Okay.
You find just with ingredients you should already have in your house.
Nice and easy. Well, thank you so much for having us and showing us these beautiful arrangements. I'm walking down the aisle. Goodbye. If anyone needs me to make a flower arrangement, just call me, okay? The Buffalo and Erie County Botanical Gardens was such an amazing place to just be inside of. Taking in all of the sights, sounds, and smells made it easy to find my center and breathe. Now, the Botanical Garden tells me that there are so many events coming up that they couldn't list them all in just one interview. So just head on over to their website at buffalogardens.com to learn more. Well, social isolation can be a major health risk for Americans as they age. It's something that we learned all too well during the pandemic. But now, a cutting-edge tool with groundbreaking technology is aiming to keep seniors connected. Bradley Blackburn has more.
On a rainy day at River Spring Living Center in New York City, therapist Dominique Fickling is leading a trip a world away.
Bermuda?
She's taking residents to the beach, no sunscreen needed.
Oh, just serene.
It was so beautiful. Makes me feel like I'm over there.
The water, oh my goodness, I just wanted to put my feet in and just get right in. It just, oh, it was so realistic, you know?
Take a little bit of sand, pick it up, pick it up.
This retirement home is one of hundreds now using virtual reality as a form of fun and therapy. A company called Rendeavor designed these VR sets especially for seniors.
Surprisingly, elderly people adapt better than young people. They love change when it comes to fun things and interesting things, and they really have embraced this.
We're just going to go through your home setting. After a surgery or major life change, seniors can use actual images of home to practice in occupational therapy.
He came to win.
And games are a way to connect. Friends Al and Arnold get competitive, popping virtual balloons.
This can be anybody's game, fellas.
Me and Al are very similar. He beats me every time.
Virtual experiences can create powerful emotions, like when residents return to the block where they grew up.
Kind of get into that mental health space where we were able to just talk about it.
Today, Marjorie Bryant went back to the Harlem street where she remembers playing as a girl.
Jump rope and roller skate.
Right there with friends again, as virtual reality finds a new generation of older fans. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Bradley, thank you. How cool is that? Now, coming up after the break, we dive into Cookie Decorating 101, how you can elevate your baking game. Stick with us. That's coming up next. When it comes to decorating, we all have our own style. But what does that mean when adding intricate designs and clever messages to food? Well, for this girl, that means you try your best. And if that doesn't work, you throw a bit of edible glitter on it for good measure. Kate Walker from Muscarell's Fine Desserts came to the studio to teach me the secrets to decorating cookies like a boss. Well, you know what they say, the way to the heart is through the stomach. Kate Walker from Muscarell's Bakery is here to help us do that. So show me what we're going to be making.
Okay, so today we're doing these waffle ones that have one waffle heart cookie, so you can get a heart cut out anywhere. And then I use this little plaque, but you could just do a rectangle or anything, and it's going to say, I love you, a waffle up.
Break this down for me because I have no artistic ability.
Okay.
No. Some of our viewers will learn something too. If you guys are like me, she's going to walk us through it.
All right, so first thing we're going to do is we are going to flood these cookies, which means we're going to put that base layer down. They even out a little and they'll be nice and flat. Then on top, we're going to lay our top pretty layers. So we would lay, you know, our little hatches there and our writing. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, let's get started. Where do we begin? And by the way, do you sell these if people want to come to your shop to come make these?
We usually don't. We will have kits special times of the year, sometimes around Christmas, sometimes around Valentine's Day.
Okay.
But usually, you just come on in and grab cookies. It's so much easier.
Listen, we'll try our best to make it, but if you're like me, you know where to go.
All right, so first we're gonna flood this bad boy.
Okay.
So I like using the side that we baked on because it's nice and flat.
Okay.
So we're gonna place it down, and we're gonna grab our white. And you'll notice even from here, it's kind of like goopy. So I like here. We are going to give a little outline.
Okay, like coloring. The coloring book begins. And easy to work with.
Yes, this is the flooding consistency, and it will flatten out really nice too. You know, to give a nice smooth surface for you to write on or decorate on. Now,
okay,
just
now
one tip. So when I'm piping, I like to squeeze this like a little balloon and then put my hand in here like I'm high-fiving. So you could squeeze it really easy. If you have too much in your hand, you are gonna kill your poor little hand. Okay, so another trick too is once you've filled it in, if you give it a little shakeroonie here, it'll help smooth everything out.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You're doing great. You're doing great. So if you want to start, now you can start outlining your heart
with the brown.
With yeah, the white.
Okay. You have cake classes, right? Cake decorating classes.
We do. Usually they're this time of year. We've been doing some bachelorettes, some closed parties.
I'm sure that's so fun.
Oh, it's super fun. Especially because you get to bring in your own snacks and your own drinks. Well, some people have
to drink while making cookies.
Some people have more fun than others.
That sounds amazing.
So when you do the cake decorating classes, there's usually 2 of us, so we could come around and help out, and has a little bit more freedom than the cookies do. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do here is, well, these should be setting up enough. We go in with our more stiff stuff here.
Okay.
And you're gonna outline again like you see here.
Okay.
It's your time to shine.
My time to shine. This is what I can do.
Here.
What's your tip to like make it easy so people aren't as scared when it comes to decorating?
Have your stuff set up.
Okay.
Just make sure you have the tools. A lot of the people who do it at home, they have more than the skills they need to do it. They just don't have the tools.
Okay.
So get your bags ready, get your cookies ready, and it all comes together in the end. All right, so now we are gonna do it with this one. You're gonna add your little cross hatches there to make it look like a little waffle. Now, when I make a line, I like squirt hard right here, and then I pull it up to get a straight like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're basically just connecting it at 2 spots instead of trying to drag it across your whole cookie there. And then if it messes up at all in the middle, don't even worry about it, because that's getting a little bit of syrup on there. Don't worry.
I got one good line.
Listen, it's perfect.
If anyone is feeling insecure about your baking skills, just look at my cookie.
Listen.
We all have our own talents. Baking, decorating, cookie decorating is not one of mine, and that's okay.
Honestly, though, it's not so bad. And as professionals, we make enough mistakes, too. We usually could tell if someone made a mistake if you see a ton of glitter on it. Oh, like the edible glitter. If I mess up, I'm always just like,
glitter. Glitter makes everything better. There you go.
All right, so now we're gonna take the nice loose.
Okay. I do better with this one.
Yes, and you're just gonna pop on a big old glob to look like syrup.
Okay.
Whatever amount of syrup you want.
I love a lot of syrup.
Oh man, I have 2 kids. The amount of syrup I go through on a pancake day is astronomical.
That's the best thing I've done all day.
Perfect. Yeah, if you give it a little shake, it will smooth on out, and it'll sit there and smooth out too.
Okay.
All right, so now's the part where we're writing.
Oh goodness. Okay.
So while that sets up, before we put on our little butter pat, we're gonna write on them. So on this one we wrote, love you a waffle lot. So when I'm writing on them, I like to visualize it and set it out. So we love you, and I'll leave waffle out.
Okay.
And then write my other things, and then I'll go back in with waffle.
Okay. This is the part that's probably giving me the most anxiety, but
honestly, rightfully so.
Okay. Thank you. Very encouraging. Very encouraging. Okay, which one are we
So we use the stick boys.
Okay.
And then you just go on in. And I like doing the letters in sections, like half and half. Like I'll do my U like U.
Okay.
Because it's easier just to pull down than it is to pull up.
This is coming up
beautifully.
Beautifully, okay? If you like squint and kind of just close your eyes, it kind of looks like exactly what you did.
Perfect. Listen, you can tell it says love.
Listen, if this at home is really cute, okay? It's a nice idea. The thought was there, but the execution may not be there. If you're like me, that's okay. You can go to her shop. What's the address for your shop?
It's 3960 Niagara Falls Boulevard. Don't worry, last step, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Perfect. We take the thin stuff.
Okay.
And we just make a little butter pat.
Okay.
Very cute.
Don't look at that. All right, fine, I'll show you. Good stuff there. So thank you so much for this.
Of course.
Appreciate it again. This is fun. This is a cute thing to do. If yours ends up coming out like mine, don't worry, you can still eat it. Or you can go to her shop.
Come on in.
Thank you so much for being on with us. We appreciate it. Okay, so if you don't think you have the patience or the time to devote to making beautifully designed cookies, then you can find them at Muscarell's Fine Desserts in North Tonawanda, or you can do some window shopping over on their website, muscarells.com. Still to come, we honor the 13th president on this President's Day, how you can interact with presidential history right here in Western New York. Well, today is President's Day, and we are honoring the 13th president of the United States, Millard Fillmore, whose early political career started right here in Western New York. Joining me in the studio today is Kathy Frost and Rachel Moyer Francis from the Millard Fillmore Museum in East Aurora. Good afternoon. Thank you guys for joining me.
Hi.
We want to know a little bit more about President Fillmore and his connections to Western New York. For those who don't know how much history is here.
Well, you know, we have his home in East Aurora, so that opens up a lot of knowledge to our guests when they come to visit us. That's hand-built by Millard way back in 1826. He built that for his new bride, Abigail. So we're so fortunate to have something from a president right in our backyard.
Well, that's a special gift, huh? Okay, who needs flowers? Buy me a house. Now, Millard Fillmore House is one of just the 10 National Historic Landmarks in Erie County. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
That's a big deal. Yes. There's not a lot here, so to have that much history means a lot to you guys. What's it like for you guys being there and being able to share that part of history with people?
I think we both would agree. It's wonderful when people come in. We get to be teachers, right? And we learn things from them too, though. I must say, the people come, they enjoy the presidents, enjoy history, and we're right there to just keep that knowledge going.
We get visitors from all over the country too.
Yeah, I imagine. Now, tell me a little bit about the house, because this is not the original location, correct?
Go ahead, Rach.
Correct. It used to be up on Main Street, across from our present Vidler's. And then it was moved by Mrs. Margaret Evans Price, the wife of one of the creators of Fisher-Price Toys. And she wanted it as her artist studio, so she moved it way down the street and to Shear Avenue, and that's where it's been ever since.
That's a fun little knick-knack. So not only do we have a president, we have a connection to Fisher-Price with that house.
Right.
And then, so she turned it into the studio. How did it turn back into kind of close to the original, what it was meant to be?
Well, through a lot of volunteer and hard work.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the Aurora Historical Society, it took several years to really get it back in shape, what you'll see when you come visit us. But through bake sales, believe it or not, hard work, fundraising, they even sold little pieces of the house. They would send them to the people in town and say, for $1, would you like to support the Millard Fillmore House?
That is so special. Now, I know the house is closed right now, correct?
Yeah.
When is it supposed to be back open?
April. We'll be back on track in April. We took the winter off for the very first time. We just need it needs a little renovation, and we need a little rest.
I don't blame you. That's a lot of house to keep up with and a lot of history. Now, what can someone expect to see or learn during their time at the house when they come see you guys for a tour?
We have many Fillmore pieces there. We have the quilt that Abigail Fillmore made herself. Isn't that amazing? And a lot of furniture from the White House. We have the bookcase that represents the first library in the White House that Abigail and Millard started together.
Wow, that's incredible.
We have musical instruments that belong to the family. We have all kinds of treasures.
Yeah, our guests are really impressed when they see as many artifacts as we have. They give us good kudos for that.
Kudos to you guys for keeping it up. Now, for when you guys do open up, do you have any big events coming up?
We have an event on March 2nd. It's a fun event. It's a Thursday night at the Columns in Elma, and it's called a political party. We have our own Mark Russell in East Aurora. His name is Rob Goller. He's also our amazing town historian. And he comes in as Millard Fillmore and does a political commentary that is hysterical. There's a lot of good material out there. And then he disappears for a while, and then we always get a female singing guest as well.
It's a secret, though.
Yeah, it's a surprise.
Okay, well, I guess you're just going to have to go and see the
that's
surprise.
right.
It's a must
and get
event.
a couple of laughs,
Right.
huh? Now, for those who are really excited to learn more about our 13th president and excited for your reopening, how can they find out more information and come visit?
Well, we have a website, aurorahistoricalsociety.com, and there will be the name of a person and a phone number whom you can actually call and talk to a person.
Isn't that nice to get on the phone and call someone?
You're going to arrange a tour. We're very flexible. We usually discuss their travel plans, and we make their visit work around their own plans. So that's how we. So it has to be by reservation.
And also at the same website, if you look under events, you'll find a way to buy tickets for the March 2nd event, which is coming soon.
Okay, that's coming right up. Thank you so much, ladies, for
Thanks,
coming
Chelsea.
in and giving us a little piece of history. We
Come visit
appreciate
us.
it. We have to.
Yes.
For all things presidential, historical, and educational, the Aurora Historical Society has you covered. Just head on over to their website, aurorahistoricalsociety.com, for more. Keeping an eye on your money, Meta is making some changes to how accounts are verified. Dodge is pulling back the reins on its Ram trucks, and a new Marvel movie is crawling its way at the box office. CBS News correspondent Matt Piper brings us today's Money Watch.
Meta is introducing verified accounts for a fee. The parent company of Facebook and Instagram will first test the new service in New Zealand and Australia before rolling it out to other countries. Badges will cost $11.99 a month on the web and $14.99 on Apple and Android operating systems. The payment also covers extra protection against account impersonation. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced the move, which is aimed at influencers and those who use social media for their business. Twitter was the first to start charging to verify accounts. Dodge is recalling more than 300,000 Ram trucks in the U.S. because of a potential fire hazard. Drivers are warned not to park the vehicles inside. Dodge says it knows of at least 6 fires that may be related to the problem, but also says the risk is minimal. And Ant-Man crawled to the top of the box office this weekend. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania raked in $104 million in domestic ticket sales, easily the largest movie opening of the year.
We are so happy to have you guys here at Daytime Buffalo. We want to thank you for joining us on our debut episode. For more on today's first episode, or if you'd like to find out any more about our guest segments, you can go to our website, daytimebuffalo.com.